What's up guys, Romsicle here, back with another video. So now that CES 2019 is over, we've seen a whole bunch of tech, but today we're going to be focusing on Razer's take on CES 2019 with their prototypes and products. So we've got our case, we've got our monitor, we've got the keyboard, as well as the Razer Blade refresh. So let's get right into it. So first off, we have the case, the Tomahawk, which is for the regular computer builders, and then we have the Tomahawk Elite, which is for those who are into the game of water cooling and such, and it's built in order so that you have that capabilities. As you can see, we've got all this hard-lined water tubing and this inverted motherboard, which is pretty cool. We've got SSD mounts on this left side right here, and it's overall pretty cool. And one of the coolest things is that on each side we have tempered glass and we have these hinges. Apparently Razer is making hinges for their cases so that the tempered glass will swivel up like Model X doors, which is pretty cool. Right now they're just for visual, but then apparently they're making a switch for it so that it actually swings up once you press a button, which is pretty cool. The entire case is made out of metal and it's got matte black everywhere, which is really nice. We've got these hinges, like I said before, and we have all these SSD mounts everywhere. And one interesting thing to note is that this cable management looks really clean. However, we have our SATA, our SSD ports or drives over here, and we have our power and SATA cables here. But how are they supposed to go onto the motherboard side? They don't show that whatsoever. They just put those ports filled in, and that's about it, because for SATA you gotta connect it to the motherboard somehow, and the motherboard's over here. So where are these cables gonna go to get to here? And of course, because both sides are tempered glass and it's clear, you can see both sides. So cable management is gonna be something questionable, but there's not a lot of answers at the moment. But right now it looks really clean, and I think a lot of people want that cleanliness, but we might not be able to get that. So that's probably one of the biggest issues at the moment for the Tomahawk. But overall, it's a really cool case with these tempered glass. The logo is tastefully there. The design is pretty much like the H series at the moment for NZXT, with these square grills everywhere and stuff like that. Another concern is that on the top of the case, it's not made to fit radiators at the moment because the screw holes don't match radiator sizes, so you might only be able to put fans. But this is pre-production, so there's a lot of changes that can be made, and I'm pretty sure they're gonna put proper screw holes in the right spots so that you can actually mount a radiator. You can also mount 360 radiator at the front of the case, so it's not really that big of a deal if they don't put it on the top. But overall, it's a really good design. They've got RGB everywhere on the logo. They have underglow just like they had in the H440, which is really cool. Next, we have the Razer monitor. This is called the Razer Raptor, and it's really cool. This is the back side. It's got this logo on here, and it's an overall a really cool design for sure. It's a monitor. It's almost bezel-less, as you can see right here. On the left, top, and right side, there's pretty much nothing, and on the bottom, we just have a little bit of thickness going on, but not that much. And in comparison to traditional monitors, it's really small, which is really nice. The refresh rate is 144 Hz, we got 4K display, the brightness is really nice, and one thing for sure that's going to catch people's attention is going to be that base, because it has that RGB lighting, but as you can see, it's fairly big for sure. And I'm not sure if you guys saw in the back though, is that there is no VESA mount. That's one of the biggest issues when it comes to this monitor, that people are saying that there's no VESA mount, which means you can't mount it to any kind of monitor stand. So multiple monitor setups is going to be out of the question at the moment for this monitor. Another thing to note about this monitor that's really cool is the cables right here. As you can see, at first I thought it was just like stock that comes with all this stuff connected to the monitor, but it's just a whole bunch of different cables, different inputs and outputs that have the same cable that you can use in line like this, so that all the clutter can be down to a minimum. And that's one of the biggest issues when it comes to monitors. You have a lot of cable clutter, and this pretty much solves that. But unfortunately, there's no VESA mount and stuff like that at the back here, so questionable. And it's also $700 at the moment, or at least that's the rumored price point. So in comparison to something like the Asus ROG Swift, which is around the same quality and such, almost same response rate, maybe even better, The monitor is kind of pushing the boundaries for sure. It's Razer, it's really nice, it's matte black and everything like that, but there's a lot of things that could be better, could be enhanced. If they put a base amount, there's definitely going to be a bigger increase of people who are going to buy it for sure. Overall, it's got a really nice design, a really good base, really nice good colors. We've got cable management really well done here. I mean, it's probably the best out of everyone else. I mean, Razer is known to make things really good, but then end up making them super pricey, so you've got that kind of back and forth thing going on there. Next, let's talk about the Razer turret. So we've had the Razer turret a long time ago for consoles, and it was really bulky. It was a foldable mouse pad, but now we've got the backlit keyboard as well as a magnetic mouse pad, which is really nice. Comes with a keyboard and a mouse, and you have this magnetic mouse pad that you can slide in and out so that it's a lot more portable when it comes to moving around and being more portable. Also, it's $250, which is questionable, but considering the fact that Black Widow keyboards go for around $140 for a 10 keyless, and then a mouse is around what, $50 or so. So that's already $200, and then you're paying the extra $50 for the portability and the form factor of it. So it's not that crazy of a price point. I think it's a pretty good price point in comparison to a lot of other things. It's definitely a contender to the Lapdog, which was a huge bulky piece by Corsair that pretty much failed in all departments for sure. So this is a really nice redesign of the turret that we had before, and this one's for Xbox specifically. Don't know if it works for PC, but if it does, that is expanding the horizon and the people who are going to buy it for sure. Overall, I really like the Razer turret and its design for sure, but the price point is quite steep for a portable keyboard and mouse in comparison to a lot of things that are on the market, like Logitech's budget keyboard, wireless mice, and wireless keyboard. So this isn't that necessary. You have RGB, but you know, you can RGB everything and the price point is just gonna go up. That's just Razer's thing, and they're doing it with this one. And I think I like it more than I did before, but you know, it's not something that I'm gonna buy. And for Xbox users, if you want to buy it, you can buy it. It's a pretty good thing. It's a good peripheral for your Xbox so that you're able to use the WASD keys and use your Xbox like a computer. And last but not least, we have the Razer Blade refresh, the Razer Blade 15, the new Razer Blade 15. I mean, somebody at Razer is going to change the name. They're going to put the year on it or something, like Razer Blade 2019, Razer Blade 15 2019, something like that. Like the V1 to V6 thing is cool, but it still doesn't help consumers to know what year it came from, what graphics cards it's using. You gotta Google all that stuff. It's a lot easier if they put the year on it. But this is a refresh of the current Razer Blade. Now it's gonna have RTX graphics cards, which is crazy. Comes with a 2060 or 27 Max Q or 2080 Max Q. So it's probably one of the best performing gaming notebooks or laptops out there for sure. And the price point is definitely saying that because it's almost $2,000 for a gaming notebook, but it all comes at a reasonable cost, I would say. You got 144 Hz display, 4K display, touch. You've got RGB keyboards and everything like that. I mean, it's pretty much the best packaged laptop, giving itself a good name for sure because of all the stuff that it actually has. Unlike Apple, which has the price point, but it doesn't have the performance. So this is just a refresh of the Razer Blade, so nothing that crazy or anything like that. So if you want to get a new Razer Blade 15, you can, but it's pretty much the exact same thing with a better CPU, better graphics card. So not much to talk about here. And that's been it for this recap of Razer's tech that we got to see at CES 2019. What did you guys think? I think the best one was definitely the Razer Raptor, although it's still something that most people aren't going to get due to the price point, as well as the compatibility issues such as no G-Sync, as well as no base amounts. And that's going to be a pretty big issue considering they're trying to charge us for $700 US for that monitor. It is a nice peripheral, but you know, Razer is known to have high price points, and it's definitely something that can be improved into the future since most of these things are in pre-production. There's a lot of changes and improvements that they can make so that the price point is actually matching the features of their products. But overall, I'm really excited to see what Razer has in store for 2019. Their items have always been really cool despite the price point being so high, but it's definitely something that a lot of people like to have. If they had the money, they would definitely buy it. Thanks for watching this video, guys. Hope you guys liked it. Give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and click that bell to see notifications of when a new video pops up. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.